Welcome, everybody, to the night show. I'm your host, West Coast Wolf. It's the Bay Area Black Community Reloaded, and we actually want to give a shout out to all our new listeners. I see a few more on the call here, but yes, make sure everybody can hear me pretty good. They had some technical difficulties on the on Blog Talk, so I'm looking to make sure everything is cool. Can you guys hear me pretty good? Just press 1 on your phone. I'll let me know you can hear me pretty good. Before I start, just press 1 and then press 1 again on your phone. I want to make sure everybody can hear me. Okay, cool. I see you. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Now, all right, let's get into some real good information tonight. Just come back from Vegas, had a road trip. One of my partners, we went out there to do some things, take care of some business, and just some things came across my mind as the things we had to go through on this trip. And I want to talk about friendship today. The 3 levels of friendship on a two-way street. Where do you stand in your relations? Now, I think this is a very, very deep subject. And with the ADD going on in the world today, a lot of us really won't catch what I'm saying tonight. But that's why we play this on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook so you can get the replay. If you don't understand, you can always go back on our blog page, BayAreaBlack.org. Click on the blog tab. You can see our playlist there. Catch me on YouTube, the Bay Area Black Community channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, the Bay Area Black Community Facebook. We have a private group that I screen very, very deeply before I let people into the group. We talk about politics. We talk about black empowerment. We talk about things going on in the world today that affect black people mainly, and how we can combat these things. So these are some areas you can find us on as you listen tonight, and maybe in the replay. But I want to talk about the 3 levels of friendship on a two-way street. Now, I want you to really think about what I'm saying tonight. Where do you stand in your relations? And I'm going to tie this in at the end of why this is very important for you to understand where you fit in your circle in life, and looking forward 10, 15, 20, 30 years in the future, why this is very important for you. So we're going to start about 3 levels, okay? Level number 1, friendship. Number 1 is the associate level of friend. You know, many people we have on Facebook, a lot of Twitter feeds, a lot of social media, Instagram, what have you, even LinkedIn. There's a lot of people in our lives that we consider associates. Now, you may not call a person an associate. You might say, oh, that's my friend right there. You know, oh, that's my friend. We know him for a while, whatever. But just because we use that word so loosely today, that does not really mean this person is your friend. Let's say associate. In business, it says associate is a sub partner. It's a person in an organization like a law firm or whatnot. A person is an associate, is a low-level business partner. Now, think about it in terms of friendship. Nobody really wants to go around and call people, oh, this is my low-level friend or something like that. It's my associate. That's somebody you connect with. An associate, you associate a person, particularly through a job, through a hobby, maybe through your church. If you go to church, maybe through an organization, nonprofit, or any other thing that you're involved with. Maybe somebody you work with, maybe somebody you see frequently at the stores you may shop at. This person is your associate, person that you have a connection with for whatever reason. That's an associate. Now, what we find many times today, we end up talking about people as our friends, and everybody's not our friends. And I was just thinking about this on this trip. I'm thinking in my mind, I said, you know what? That's something I need to talk about, because believe it or not, especially the men, we don't know how to classify and know how to make good friends. Most of us don't. And even some of the women, they connect with other people, like women, other women or whatever, pretty good. But that doesn't make a woman your friend. Come to the sisters out there. Just because you connect with another female and you feel like you got a good rapport with her, that don't make you guys friends. And people might say, oh, yeah, I know, I'll get that. But you know what? So many times you find out people talking about they're spreading their business with people, and they find out this person, another woman, and women most of the time, they find out this chick is talking about them behind their back. They find out this chick is actually trying to make moves on their man. They find out this chick here is wants what she has, but yet you say she wasn't your friend. She's just an associate, but yet you're giving her friendship level information, if you understand. So the first level is an associate, and another thing about being an associate, you may think this is the sad part, and I see it all the time. And I've been a victim of this in the past myself, so just gonna keep it 100. You may think somebody's your friend, and they're really you're an associate. Now, I say friendship on a two-way street. A two-way street means that it works both ways. Let's say I have a friend. Let's say my friend's name is, let's say Tyrone is my friend. Okay. Tyrone is my friend, so I treat Tyrone accordingly. When something happens in his life, I'm there for him. He needs something, I'm there for him. We hang out, we talk, we hang out, have a good time. Same things happen in the families, we always connect. On my side. So I'm always reaching out to Tyrone to make sure Tyrone is doing okay, make sure his life is going well, make sure he has what he needs from me as a friend, as a confidant, as somebody looking out for my partner. I treat him as my friend. Meanwhile, Tyrone might look at me as an associate. Just marinate on that for a minute. Just really think about what I'm telling you right now. I see Tyrone as my friend. But on the other end, Tyrone only sees me as an associate. Really, really burn it into your psyche right now. Because too many times, and I'm older now, so I don't really have those kind of problems anymore. But in younger life, I look back, I got hurt a lot of time going above and beyond for people who didn't really care that much about me. Because I want to be a good friend. And you're going to find out in your life, if you live long enough, if you try and you study long enough, if you focus on your relationships long enough, you're going to find out who your real friends are. And I'm telling you, family, it's a cutting edge, it's a two-way street. And I see people who are hurt most of the time. You were the friend. You thought you had a friend in Tyrone or somebody or Becky or whoever you want to call it, LaQuisha, whatever. But in the end, you were just seen as an associate to that other person. Think about that for a minute. I'm going to give you some time on that because that's going to go over a lot of people's heads. But I find people get hurt a lot more because they don't know the difference between a friend and an associate. They just don't know the difference. And if you don't know the difference between the two, how in the hell are you going to be able to find new friends? How are you going to be able to pick and choose good friends? How are you going to go through your life not making the same mistakes over and over again if you don't know what to look for? So, an associate is a person you connected with through a business deal, through a job coworker, through restaurants you frequent, grocery store you frequent, somebody in your neighborhood, your neighbor. All those people are associates because if it's just a surface level relationship, that's an associate. Now, you may like certain people for different reasons. But when the chips are down and you need somebody to come just to talk to you, spend some time with you, we ain't talking about sexual relationships. We're talking about just friends right now. And these persons are never there for you. People can see you in need and they're not giving. They're not there for you. That's not your friend, family. That's not your friend. You need to move on with your feelings and put them in the associate category. Okay. So that's an associate. If you missed that part, you might want to rewind later on YouTube. Like us on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube to get that first part because you're going to need that. Number 2, the second level of friendship. The second level of friendship is a good friend. So first level is associate. We just talked about that in detail. And number 2 is a good friend. Now I'm going to tell you, in all my years, I've always had a few good friends. I've been blessed that way. But I have to say, it's not by luck, family. One thing I do, and I encourage my people to do, I really encourage you to do this. Picking friends is like picking a marriage mate without the sex. Picking a friend is like picking a marriage mate without the sex. Let me tell you why. Good friends are hard to come by, family. You hear the people say it all the time. But until you've been in the trenches for quite some time, like I have, in many different scenarios, many different categories, many different phases of my life, good friends are hard to come by. What you're not going to find is perfect friends. Nobody's going to be freaking perfect. I'm sorry. That's TV. In real life, we all carry our burdens, we carry our baggage, emotional, whatever it may be. But those who let you in to that inner circle, those you feel like you can let into your inner circle, that's a good friend who can talk to you, see your imperfections, and still love you. Just think about that for a minute. There's very few people that's going to love you and respect you after they find out you're not perfect. There's very few people, family, going to accept you just the way you are and love you anyway. Now, I'm not saying because they love you the way you are. I'm not saying because you got some issues. They ain't going to check you on a few things. They're going to check you. That's real love, family. It's not you be any kind of way in the world you want to be. Don't advise you on nothing. If you go down the wrong path and they let you ride on that path without trying to pull your coattail, it's not your friend either. Those who honestly know you open your heart up in confidence. You sit down one-on-one over a drink, over a fishing pond, over a long trip, over dinner, over lunch, over whatever. And they discuss really who they are. Because a lot of people in life today, family, they put on the facade. They put on this air for the Joneses, for everybody else. They want to be like so-and-so. They want to be approved by somebody. They come back and try to project that foolish persona to you. Those people are not really ready to be a good friend. There may be a friend in there. They're not ready to be a good friend because a good friend can be honest with their people, with their circle. If you can't be honest with your people in your circle, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're going to do. Because I'm going to tell you right now, it's many of friends that I've had in the past. I'm from the South, so I look back, go to my reunions, I see them, but many of them haven't changed much. Many of them have, some of them have changed. But things remain is that I knew who they were. I grew up with them. I see how they blossomed or not blossomed. And those who still try to carry that persona like they're just big, tough chick or tough guy, and that's not really who they are, I feel sorry for them. Because you won't honestly be able to work on yourself as an individual if you're not being honest. Because let me tell you, white supremacist country that we live in, being black folks, being taught to hate each other, being taught to fight each other, being taught to not trust each other, being taught to stab each other, you don't have to actually give in to that. But many do. So what I'm trying to tell you tonight is your good friends will make you a better person. They will help you become better. I'll tell you something right now, family. I got friends that I did to my heart. I'll ride for these people. But I know who they are, and they know who I am. I'm not one to do the front. Some people do it. I'm not one to do that. But my friends know who I am. They know what makes me tick. They know what pisses me off. They know what makes me happy. They know this. I don't hide that. Because you know what? In my life, I learned a lot of things about a relationship with people. You could drop me in Beijing, Jack. I'm going to be all right. Because I know the social dynamics of a relationship. Many folks don't really understand that. Because you can let selfishness get in the way of you being a good friend. Think about that. You can be so selfish or so prideful that it'll actually get in the way and hinder your relationship with your friends. Because there are people out there that love you more than you even know. But if you're looking at them and you view them as an outsider, you look at them as viewing them as an associate, one day they're going to realize that's a two-way street. They're going to realize that there's only one way on their side. And when they do, you're going to lose them. And I'm going to tell you, in this world we live in right now, for black people, let me tell you something. I don't come with May. Do not let your good friends go. Just don't do it. Just do not do it. As I talk to you guys, I think about, I'm just reminiscing about some good times I've had with some friends and some very bad times I had with some friends. And I'm just thinking about it. It makes me a little emotional because I have some very bad things happen in my life, and my friends were there for me. But imagine if I didn't have good friends. Just imagine that. Do you have good friends? Do you really know who your good friends are compared to your associates? Because it's a two-way street. Do you really know who got your back? Let me break some things down to you. If you only hear from people when they need something from you, either you're a mentor and they need your advice. Mentor is generally a mentor. Some of them could be friends, but most of them are just mentors. Need you for advice, that's your mentor. You call your mentor. If you only hear from them when you need advice, that's your mentor. That's not your friend. If people just call, check on you, see how you doing, hit you on a text or whatever, Facebook, talk to you on the phone, reminisce, whatever. See, with good friends, family, you ain't got to see them every day for whatever reason. You got to talk to them every day. But once you talk to them, it's like a light goes on, and you just go on like you never missed a day with that person. That's a good friend. And you can just talk about whatever you're feeling inside, whatever you want to talk about, they're there for you. And some of my friends is crazy. I'm gonna tell you right now. Some of them is crazy, but you know what? They probably think I'm crazy too. But good friends are hard to come by. That's why it's the second level. Now, talk about the third level of friendship. The third level of friendship is a great friend. The third level of friendship is like the holy grail of friendships, a great friend. Let me tell you something. To me, and I must know I think of two about this because I got a few great friends. To me, great friends are rare. Great friends are rare. Because let me tell you something about a great friend. You will know if you're a great friend or not. I know. Without a shadow of a doubt, I could drop dead tomorrow. People will be at my funeral saying I was a great friend. This is what I know. Because I know how I handle my friendships. I treat everyone, let me tell you something. This is my secret. I treat every one of my friends as great friends to me, whether it's true or not. You know why? That's who I am. I'm a great friend. I don't have a lot of great friends. I have a few good friends, but I got a lot of associates. But my good friends to great friends, they know they're on my inner circle. They know this. And maybe because I didn't have a whole lot of family in my circle, maybe because I didn't have a whole lot of people that I could go and, connect with on a blood level, so to speak, with the family, within the family. Most of every family members that I loved are dead already. Let's get that straight. Most of them are already passed on. Ancestors now. So maybe I don't take for granted what many people, maybe on this phone call, maybe you're going to hear it on YouTube, take for granted. Maybe that's the reason why. But that's okay. You could drop me in Japan, Okinawa, Japan. You could drop me in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I got family there now, but it don't matter. You drop me in Bangkok, Thailand. And I'm going to tell you, I can connect with any people of any language because I know how to be a great friend. And the reason for this call is this. Most of the black community does not know how to be good to great friends anymore. They do not know how to do this. And it's not all their fault because the entire white supremacist order, whole job, was to disenfranchise, marginalize, and extinguish the light of black and African people. This is what their job is. Talking to my good friend CJ today. Shout out to CJ. Spent some time with him today. Let me tell you, listen. The only thing broken with black people in American black people right now today is their mindset. That is the only thing broken. Still works. Your money still spends, just like the white man money. But what's broken is our mindset. We don't know how to be friends anymore. We don't know how to be good associates anymore. All we know is destruction as far as the biggest, broad spectrum of the whole community. Now, there's a few in here. I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about the few of us here who know how to get this done are spending our time trying to find the other half. A great friend, family, is like a marriage. Let me tell you something. Prime example. I done got into a lot of my great friends. I done got into it. Let me tell you something. We done had scuffles, to arguments, whatever, knocking over stuff, whatever. We done had our issues. But let me tell you something. As far as me concerned, you got me. You got me pissed off. You got me ready to take your head off. Man, let me tell you something. If you know me, I don't get upset with people that quick to violence or anger. I won't say violence, I won't hurt my friends, but just that mad. You feel like, I just want to kill them. Not really, but just choke them to death. But that's how you feel, the emotion. What I'm saying, the emotion side of it. Man, let me tell you something, family. I don't get upset about stuff like that. People I don't know. Associate, you ain't going to get me hot too much. Disrespectful might get me hot a little bit, but I'm not going to stay long enough for me to choke you out. If I hang out long enough, I might get on you. But at that point, I'm leaving. This dude is tripping. I'm going to leave. I'm gone. This chick is tripping. I'm leaving. But your great friends, they can make you angry. That's if you balance. If you're angry anyway, that don't count for you. If you're the angry type, that don't count for you. I'm talking about for me. I'm not the angry type. Angry at white supremacists, but with my friends, I got long patience with my friends. But man, they get me there sometimes. But that's love because I love them. Look how many marriages people will get into marriages and they argue about stuff. Ain't always be hunky dory. They make you mad though. But here's the killing part. When you don't have them in your life, you get mad, you're going to spurt off where you guys are not talking for a minute for whatever reason. Man, it hurts your heart. You know why it hurts your heart? Because you love that person. Like brothers and sisters, you love them. And when you have a problem with them, you don't sleep good at night. Personal experiences. You don't sleep good at night. And when y'all make up and, man, I'm sorry, whatever happened, you hug or whatever, man, listen. That's the best feeling in the world. That's why I said great friends are like a marriage. A great friend, you get stuck you on Highway 5. You stuck somewhere, they get that phone call, man, I'm stuck, I'm stranded. Man, you in the car. You understand me? You in the car. It's almost like a necessity that you got to go. Would you leave your wife on the side of the street? 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, no sleep? Would you leave your husband on the side of the street? This is what great friends do, family. But you know what? I ain't got a lot of great friends. I can count them on one hand. I know a lot of people. So, the 3 levels is a two-way street. Most people get hurt, in my opinion, in my experience, people get hurt when they realize they was a great friend and the other person wasn't a great friend. That's when they get their feelings hurt. My point to you tonight is, don't you be that one finding out that you were a great friend to somebody who saw you as an associate. That's the worst feeling in the world. Like I say, I'm divorced now, but when I was married, my wife, we were never really friends. Let me just say that. That's why it didn't work out. We never really were friends. We're young, made some bad decisions or whatever, but let me tell you something. She was my wife, but she wasn't my woman. It's a big difference. Big difference. Because when you marry somebody and you're friends, everything going to fall into place. You're going to have some rough patches. You're going to have issues that go down. But when you're really friends, you're going to work it out. Because both of you guys see the other partner as a great friend. Also a wife or a husband. But being a great friend is like having a man. Like somebody look up, that's my man over there. Or that's my woman over there. You can say marriage all day. Marriage is just paperwork, family. That's just paperwork. People want to do it. Hey, paperwork. But it don't mean nothing. Because when you're not there, if that's your woman or if that's your man, then it's going to be known. And you ain't got to be there for that. So the building blocks, the reason why I brought this call today, the building blocks of a relationship starts with friendship, family. If you don't know how to be a friend, a good friend, a great friend, if all you know how to do is be a damn associate, Let me save you some time and energy. You're never gonna build a big network of anybody worth having because it don't take nothing but somebody to be able to breathe and walk and see, not even those things. Walking, breathing human can be an associate with a job. I work at the grocery store. I'm the bag boy. I'm the cashier. Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Wolf? Nice seeing you today. Later on, I see me later on tomorrow. Hey, that's Wolf. He work at the grocery outlet or whatever it might be. I'm on the associate list already. I ain't even did nothing but bag groceries or cash somebody out at the cash register. It's nothing to be an associate. You ain't developed no skill to be an associate. Now, in the business world, you better be a little bit better than that. But as far as socially, personally, making friends and all that stuff, or communicate with people, talk to people out when you go about, associate has no weight. So if all you know how to do is be an associate, you're not going to get far in life. Not this world. Let's say you won the lotto. You don't have any real friends. All of a sudden, everybody want to be at your side because you got money now. Oh, these people, they love me. I've always had them on my team as friends or whatever. You've been associated to everybody in that group. But now you got money. Now they're a little bit over, making sure they clear the schedule for you every day or every week until you broke. When you're back at the bottom, back on the defensively associate list. So what did you gain from that? You made a little money, short term, you want some gambling, whatever. Now, you back down the bottom. But I'm telling you something, family. Talked to my good friend yesterday about this. I said, listen, what my people don't understand about this is this. Friendship, great friends, good friends, is something you need to cultivate now. And don't ever lose that. Because if you know like I know, 90% of the time in this life that we live, our parents are going to pass away before we do. And if you're a man, 90% of the time, your woman is going to outlive you. That's just the facts. Even in the insurance world, that's the facts. And if you at 75, 80, 90 even, 100 for few, you get older, your significant other is gone, your parents are gone. If you have children, your children are grown with their own lives. You see them maybe once or twice a month. Maybe hopefully you're not in the home. Hopefully you got money to stay at home and age gracefully at home. Hopefully you have the kind of kids that'll come and look after you sometime and see you, play cards with you, reminisce or whatever. But if you're not actually good at making friends, family, let me tell you how they cross over. I don't believe you should be your kid's friend. I don't believe that. Some people might disagree. I don't believe that. You're a parent. You're not my friend. You're a parent. But it has some social elements to it that makes you a good parent. So back to that thing with the associate list there. If you have no social skill, you're an associate to most people you know. Get it straight right now. If you are an associate level person and that's all you got to offer, chances are great your children will be the only ones that will be there loving you and looking out for you when they once in a while. But they won't be the kind of kids that come around you and really flourish like Ali's family was doing with him. When I seen the Ali's passing, they had this little big old show for him. And just go to show that man touched a lot of people's lives. He knew how to be a great friend. Look at that memorial for him. It almost brought me to tears. Family, when you get older, if you're not already there, look around. Your parents are gone. Your wife are gone. Your husband's gone. It's just you and some grown-ass kids who got their own life. But you have not cultivated good, solid friendships. You're going to be sitting at home withering away. And it's more for the men than the women because women tend to generally have friends. They tied by drama. They tied by emotional dysfunction. They tied by bad men. They tied to something. But the fellas, we generally on our own. We die before our women die. If you're a black man, you're getting dumped on by the white man on a heavy, heavy level compared to other men in the world. We got so much strife in our life. We got to hustle and be creative to make money in the white supremacist system. If you don't have friends, this is the reason why I believe people into drugs, People get hooked on drugs. People get hooked in alcoholic lifestyle, like my father was. You find all these other outlets to deal with white supremacist society because you have no real friends around you to help you get through those times. So what you do, you turn to the street, you get on the drugs, or you turn to the bottle, and that's how you live your life in your retirement time. You sit back with your vices, whether it be smoking weed, smoking crack, shooting up heroin, speed, prescription drugs, smoking cigarettes or whatever, and alcoholism, whatever it may be, your vice is going to be. You stick with those vices because you have nothing else to do. Your life has passed you by. Now you're 75 now, and you didn't think it was important to have and maintain good relationship with your friends or possible friends, would-be friends, so to speak. So this is very important. So I'm open up to the family and let you guys comment on that. I take it very seriously, and I believe that this is important information. And just work on yourself. Before I do that, let me read you guys something that I looked up here. And let me tell you what it says. It says, how to be a good friend. Being a good friend isn't always easy, but taking the time to nurture and lasting relationships, friendships, is worth every ounce of effort. As the years pass by, some people will stay by your side, but many won't. And you'll realize that each friendship you keep is priceless. Of course, to have a good friend, you must be one. To be a good friend and deepen a friendship to make it last, just follow these steps. I'm going to read all this information, but it says, step 1, keep your promises. Don't ever make a promise that you can't keep, or at least don't make a habit of keeping. I hate people like that. I don't literally hate them, but it's very irritating. If I say, okay, this is what we're going to do, or you're going to do this for me, okay, I expect that. Then it don't happen, it's not good. I ain't going to go into that. But number 2, be dependable. Everybody that knows me, and I ain't got to go through a list of people. But if Whoop say he's going to do something, I'm going to do it. Or I wouldn't say I'm going to do it. It'll be a dang reason why I didn't do it. Be dependable. Number 3, apologize when you made a mistake. Biggest one right here. I got people that I know right now never apologize for anything they do. If you're so big and bad, you never apologize for anything you've done, you that perfect, then you should have a hell of a lot of list of friends. You shouldn't be calling me. Okay? Number 4, be honest. But you got to be honest with yourself. If you want to be a good friend and to have people trust you, then you have to be honest about your feelings, about your friends' actions, and about how you feel about your friendship. So true. I think I covered that. Number 5, don't use people. Man, I can't stand these kind of people right here. I get them phone calls on when they need something. If one of your friends suspects that you're just using them, then they'll drop you like a hot potato. That's true. Good friendships don't arise from hoping someone else's popularity or networks will rub off on you. If you're trying to be friends with a person just because be accepted into a certain clique, that's not friendship. It's opportunism. Eventually, that shallow nature of your involvement will reveal itself. So true. That's the groupies. They want to be down with you because you got something going on, but they're not really there for the long run. Number 6, be loyal. If your friend tells you something in confidence, keep it and don't talk about it with anyone else. Just as you expected your friend to do for you. Self-explanatory. Number 7, be respectful. Good friends show respect for each other by being openly and mutually supportive. If your friend has certain values and beliefs that don't align with your own, respect his or her choices and be open to hearing about them more. Okay? Those are the ones here I want to go over. Seven reasons. Now, here's another one. Be selfless. Though you can't be selfless all the time, being selfless is an important part of being a good friend. Accommodate your friends' wishes whenever you can, provided this is done in a balanced way. I try to do this all the time with my friends. It's just natural for me. Number 2, be a good listener. Don't monopolize conversation and take over the time to truly understand and support your friend when he is talking to you. I can ramble on some stuff that I'd be ready to jump in on them all the time. I control myself on this one, but I'm listening. Okay, number 3, help your friends deal with their struggles. Man, I've always helped my friends deal with their struggles. You should too. 4, Be there in a time of crisis. They got friends of mine that have been there through a lot of hardship in my life. That's why I cherish them for that. Number 5, give thoughtful advice. Be a good friend. You should be able to weigh your friend's situation from his or her perspective and provide your opinion without insisting that your friend should do whatever you say. I try my best to always give them advice and give them the pros and cons of both sides, and they let them decide for themselves. Because they're grown people. They can do whatever they want to do. But it won't be said that I didn't tell you. You didn't get the right advice from me. But what you do on your own, that's on you. But you got options. And another 6th thing is give your friend some space when he or she needs it. People, this is bad for a lot of people. They just don't know when to stop. Give folks their space. Learn to forgive. This was a big one because I can hold a grudge. It's the Aries in me. But I've worked on it over the years. But, man, when I'm really done with you, I'm done. It takes a whole hell of a lot to happen when I go back in because it takes a lot because I do so much for people. If somebody cross me, boy, I don't know what kind of reason you would have to cross me, but if you ever had one, man, it would take hell and high water for me to switch it back. Put it like that. Number 2, accept your friend for who or she is. Accept them who they are. I know their imperfections, and I still love them. Go beyond the call of duty. Talked about that. Stay in touch no matter what. Staying in touch. Man, listen. Let your friend evolve. If you want to be a good friend, then you have to understand that your friendship won't be the same in high school, college, or in the adult world. I get it. My friends got married. They don't need me like that no more. I understand that sometimes. I let them evolve. I get it. So, it's a lot of different things like that, but I think I covered all those things basically in the beginning and the outset of what I was talking about. But yes, so if you find yourself in a circle with not having a whole lot of people in it, those things you can work on your own time. And I'm always here for you. So I'm opening the lines up. People go ahead. If you got something to say, got some experiences, talk about maybe some things that happened to you in your life with your friends, and you ever been in a situation to where you were an associate and didn't know you were an associate to somebody else who you were a great friend or a good friend to? Let's talk about it. Press 1 in the queue, and we can open the lines for somebody. Don't be scared. This is family right here. Speak your mind. Press 1 to get in the queue. And, okay, you got somebody. Last one digit is 6647. I'm going to let you in the queue. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Wolf,
yes,
this is Leon. Yeah.
How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing okay, brother. Yeah, I actually had certain experience with a friend recently. I actually had I've known the guy for about 4 or 5 years. We've always been cool, but I've actually had to cut him loose.
Oh, wow. What happened?
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
Well, yeah.
Scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a huge deal, but we were just heading in different directions, I've just been trying to be more progressive for my people and, just get out the negativity. And he was just a person who was just always negative, never have any solutions. Like just when somebody's trying to do something progressive, kind of like, let's say you with your Bay Area community meetup, town hall meeting, or like when I've been going to like activism events or whatever and helping fundraise, like he's just a very negative person, but he has like absolutely no solution, nothing positive to say. And it's just one of those people too. Like I think you become who you hang around with. So
exactly.
Like a friendship is it's a partnership. It's an associate. Not like associate as in like associate friend, whatever. But like it's a partnership, like it's association, whatever. Like this, this you should always have positive people there. And when I mean positive, I'm not saying people like I love constructive criticism. So like if you have something that could make me better, or vice versa, I'm glad to give it and I'm glad to receive it. But you need to get those crab barrel people out of your life. And I think if somebody's listening, I've definitely encountered my share where if somebody's just negative and they don't want you to leave the barrel, and they have no desire to leave it themselves, you need to cut those people out of your life. You know what I mean? Because they are just as cancerous, if not more cancerous, than the white supremacists. Because like even when I, you know, like I've read on Marcus Garvey like this, you saw how he had issues with other black people like this. That's one of the biggest things they do. You know, like this, maybe some black person gets a little treat, or a lot of times another black person doesn't want to see another person, like succeed beyond him. So he's like, oh no, like this, you can't go. So those negative people, obviously, like there are a lot of progressive people out there. I would say associate with them, network with them, be friends with them. You know what I mean? Like it's not just on some fake, hey, like, you know, like Wolf has a podcast, so like I need to be friends with Wolf. But like, hey, you know, like if he's a good guy, whomever is a good person with network, with, you know, like even if it's just like the Bay Area, black people, black community 300, whatever, is just, you know, like that's what we need to do. I mean, Black Wall Street wasn't that big. You know, the Harlem Renaissance wasn't that big, you know, especially with social media now too. You know, like the estate could be international. Like it doesn't have to be huge in one area, but, you know, like you need that like-minded people. You know what I mean? Like this, you can't let somebody, like it'll be the equivalent. Like I remember, I was at this one town hall meeting, and everything was good, everything was positive, and it had this one black woman just at this, and it is not indicative of like black women, but I mean, it was just one individual black woman. She was just so negative, and it wasn't that what she was saying was necessarily wrong. It's the way she was saying it, meaning like when she was talking about, like this one person was talking about mental health and all this stuff. Very, very valid things to say. I think they're extremely valid. But instead of yelling at people, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? It would have been extremely easy and more helpful to be like, hey, hey, like I do this, I have this skill, can we work together or whatever? And I'm pretty sure you'd be like, yeah, of course, because everybody has a different skill. You know what I mean? Like I like to write, I like have the propaganda. I mean, propaganda is not a bad word, it's like political marketing or whatever. Like I kind of like that. Like somebody has the mental health part, so we have the like the radio part, your part, like an organizing part. Everybody has a role, like this. Not everybody's, hey, like this. We need to all do this because I want to do that. But okay, why don't you do that? Because you're passionate about it. You have more skill. You know what I mean? Like this, and even that to me is a form of, that's a person I wouldn't associate with. I mean, maybe she's nice and that is a rough day, but like if she always acts like that, I wouldn't associate it because that's a form of sabotaging too. That's like a form of crab in a barrel thing where it's like, hey, you got this, but hey, you know what? I gotta pull your stuff down to bring to bring myself or to bring attention to us. It's like, hey, like you came to the meeting, we didn't come to you.
Right. You said something valid. It's like this. I look at in this situation with black people. Let's just say there's a race being run. There ain't no different countries. There's just black and there's white and there's and what they call it, what is it, Middle Eastern. Because really Hispanics is black folks. They're just trying to hide out. Okay, let's be real. Yeah. So it's Europeans, Africans, Asians, and Middle Eastern people. Let's just say they got some black fool running on the African team. She or he is not fast. They want to represent us, but you know what? Guess what? I've been training all my life to run, and I'm gonna have my time, and I don't care what happens because I'm gonna make sure I get running this race. Instead of looking at the betterment of the whole entire race for us to win our prize, for us to win as a group, they want to run that last leg and know they're not the fastest on the team. The smart thing to do would be to hold back that, let us win our championship, let us get our reward, our just due, and then later on we all can share in the rewards. But that's what makes me mad because people come to these meetings, they want to make sure they have their word, and they want to be the most negative, foolish Negro on the face of the earth to destroy any project we got going on because they want to make sure they was heard. Kill everything we had going on. And you're right, I can't associate people like that closely. I just can't because It just drain all the energy out the room, and it just puts people in a bad mood. For you know, people, and you got a ride on your hands, and it's for nothing. For some Negro who want to have their 3, 4, 5 minutes of fame, and ain't want to do nothing, ain't never want to put no work in, is run their mouth.
Totally.
They want to run their mouth.
Like, like this. Let's be honest too. Like, they would not say that person. I mean, like, they would not all that crap they're talking. Like this, they to like a black person, they would not say that to a white person, especially a white person that could like check them. You know, the white person that actually control the power structure. Like, they would be tapped at to like a slave. Hey, boss, hey, like this, how you doing? You know what I mean? Like this, she'd be trying to be like a bed wench, and a guy and a man would be, you know, like the Sam Bowen, and like dancing like Mr. Bojangles. So it's like, so that's one of the things too that like I've learned too. Also too, you know, like stop saving people that don't want to be saved, man. And this kind of relates to the same thing too, but it's about the negative personality. You know, like this, you become who you hang around with. So, you know, like the last couple of years, I've been hanging around more, you know, like progressive people, more doing, you know, like progressive things, and I've been more progressive. You know, I mean, like when you hang around people, even if they're not, like, not everybody has to be a freedom fighter, not everybody has to be an activist, not everybody has to, you know, whatever. But, you know, like you got to be doing stuff. Like, obviously, you know, guys that are doing stuff that are negative, they could come back to you. You can't associate with them, but also too, you know, like people who, you know, like just complain with no solution. I mean, like this, that's just this negative too. Like that's, you know, like you only have so much time, you only have so much space in your head, and that plants, you know, bad seeds. Like that messes up your flow, and especially like if it's in an event with a, you know, crowd, that plants bad seeds in people's mind. You know what I mean? Like this, you know, like this, we're already in a system of white supremacy, which means everybody knows that they're oppressed. So people there, we're going there, and to a certain extent, it's kind of just brave to showing up, because we're not supposed to show up. Right. You know what I mean? Right. You know what I mean? Like I remember one time I was working on an event, and a white guy showed up, and was actually questioning, because he see a bunch of well-to-do black people just together on something positive. Hey, man, what you guys doing in there? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like this, it's just one of those things where, you know, like we're doing something that every other group does, that white people, you know, Jewish people. I mean, Judaism is a religion, not a race. You got white Jews, you have black Jews. You know, like shout out to my Ethiopian Jews out there. But I'm referring to the white Jews. You know, like this, you have the you know, like the Latino community. You know, like this, they, you know, like you go to the mission, whatever, like this, they have their group, you know what I mean? Like, but like we've got to get rid of this personality. We got to start working together, and like, you know, like build friendships, and even like, you know, strong associates. You know what I mean? But they have to be positive people. I mean, not everybody has to be a freedom fighter, but you can't be there planting bad seeds. Not everybody's gonna open up their own store. Not everybody's gonna open up their own radio station or their own radio show. Not everybody's gonna have their own organization. Not everybody's gonna write their own books. You know, like this. Not everybody's gonna be an activist. But you know, you can't be around those negative people. With those unhappy bastards, be unhappy together. You know, you know what I mean? You know, that's just life. I mean, like even white people that rule the world, you got poor white people in the trailer park that are unhappy. I'm like, you're white. You just wasting your whiteness. You know what I mean? But still, I mean, so you're always going to have people unhappy, and that's what we need to, I think, accept as a people. And I've had to learn to accept recent years, like, hey, you ain't saving everybody. Everybody wants to be saved. Like the Bible, like I'm not religious at all, but you know, the Bible, if you look at, you know, I always bring up Noah. He didn't bring everybody on that ark, man. A lot of people didn't want to go to the last minute. You know what I mean? Like being in the Bay Area, getting more in activism stuff. Some people are not going to get it to, you know, like they'll get upset for like a shooting here or there, but a lot of people are not really going to get upset to do anything progressive, despite being gentrified. And I remember you had a show called The Great Gentrification.
The last Black Migration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things where a lot of people are not going to get it until they start having tanks. I mean, I literally was walking in an area that was more like a Latino area, but it was gentrified. I was going to like a political event, and I white dude called the cops on me, just walking. You know what I mean? Like, and I got family members that are, like cops too, and they was like, yeah, like they get calls like that all the time with some dummy, will call, and it's like, yeah, some black guy walking down the street. Okay, so what is he doing? He's just walking.
Yeah,
okay,
but you know what, Leon? That's
yeah.
what happened a lot more. I was watching a black documentary of Black Miami, and it talks about the cycle of what was going on there. And the black historian talked about that black people really need to have we come together in crisis. It makes us stronger in crisis. And I'm so mad because I feel like black people, we shouldn't have to have a crisis on our hands for to get together and do what need to be done. But that just really pisses me off with that. Like, I got another call coming in, Leon. Thanks for the call. Let me put somebody on right quick. This is 6271. Let me add them into the group here. 6271. Thanks for holding. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Miss Lady. I'm in California, but
Miss Lady, how you doing?
Mm-hmm. Hi. I've been listening about 20 minutes.
Okay.
And how can I start? It's like it's so much to that topic.
It's open for you to speak with your mind. It's whatever you want to say.
Have you heard of Neely Fuller Jr.? Neely Fuller Fuller Jr. You could see a lot of his videos, interviews.
I've heard the name. Actually, I've heard the name.
Okay. So if you listen to him, you'll get a real understanding. It won't be so frustrating, even though it'll continue to be somewhat disappointing about how black people have been programmed to hate themselves and hate each other. And so he talks about black culture and, the reasons for all of that, for emanating from all this, all of this self-hatred. So it's difficult to find like-minded people who are progressive and positive. That's a difficult thing to do. And, for men, it just seems like they could duke it out, talk about each other, cuss each other out, but then they can still pat each other on the back at some point and go have a beer. Now, when you get to a level of business relationship and progressing financially and becoming business owners or having investment groups and clubs and things like that I think it becomes more difficult. As long as you can talk about sports and who's winning the ball games and who's the better quarterback and, cajole each other that way, talk about women, about your latest rims and stuff. Keep it at that level. You can kind of make it work.
But let me ask you a question, sister. Let me ask you a question, sister. I won't cut you off, but do you think it should be shied away from talk about money and investments? Do you think that's a good reason? I mean, a good excuse for people not to do it? What do you think?
Oh, no, you have to find people that because, see, years ago I was in an investment group with all black women, and I'm going to tell you, there is so much jealousy and competition that they were cutting off their nose to spite their face. They wouldn't move forward on other people's suggestions like stocks to buy because they were just hateful, and it was all emotion-based. And so they ended up losing big time because they could not agree. They just could not agree with data, research data presented to them. So it's very difficult. Women can become highly resentful, jealous, and envious of each other based on all kinds of stuff. It could be based on just because how you look. It could be based on if you have hair or not. It could be based on your body. It could be based on, if you have a nice husband or boyfriend that's treating you really well. It could be based on, having a positive spirit and being intelligent and being educated. It could be based on, what you drive, do you own your own home, where is it located, how your children doing, they're making A's in school. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So what
now,
they
where does
will
that come
do,
from? Where does that come from?
It comes from feelings of inadequacy, feelings of depression and sadness, feelings of not feeling supported enough, just envious. I mean, envious and jealousy, you know. So it could be one of those or all of those, or a panoply of reasons that the emotions can be so high, the negative emotions, that they cannot even make wise decisions, financial decisions for themselves. They refuse to work together. And this is what Neely Fuller talks about, is that, he talks about black culture and how it's evolved to become very negative, and how something has to be done because we cannot continue to go on the way we act.
Well, I'll tell you what needs to be done. What needs to be done, we have to weed out, we have to separate from people who are not.
Well, you're going to have to separate from a large majority, because I'm going to tell you.
That's okay.
I think probably 75 to 80% of them, to be honest. That's
we don't need
a
a lot.
huge number. Now, he talked about black people. What do they really? He said, he asked the question. You got to look at those YouTube videos. And he's been interviewed on Blog Talk Radio. And then there's another show he comes on once a week called Talktainment, talktainment.com, and the compensatory concept. So his thing is, okay, we know the problem. These are the issues, the problems. What do you do about it? And basically minimize conflict. If that means not talking to anybody, not acknowledge, don't look at them when you pass them on the street, saying hello when you get in the elevator and turn around and facing the door, so say nothing else. Don't get together. He advocates to not get together with a group of people without having a plan in place, knowing everybody understands why you're getting together for this period of time. You do what you come to do, and then you go on about your way. Because if you hang around long enough, somebody's going to say something, some feelings are going to get, hurt, and there's going to be some kind of conflict.
Well, I'll tell you what, I ain't going to run from conflict to that level, but I'll tell you what, if you go to any group outside of black people, white folks, they fight. At the business offices, they fight. They get it. But you know what?
Of course they do.
When it comes to business, they focus and they make things happen for the people. So I believe myself personally, and I just have to speak to everybody else, but my belief is it's the slave mindset. And the slave mindset has it to where black folks fight each other. Because I'm telling you, I've seen, say even in women and female relations, male and female relations in the black community, one woman will be with a white dude, she'd be all nice, respectful. She'd get a black man, nice black man, disrespectful as can be, let things go, let things fly. It's conditioning. And the reason why they're fighting because
of course
we put light skin against dark skin and all that stuff. But people I'm talking to in my group, we're not on that level. We focused on the business. Now we don't always get along, but we focus on business at hand. And you're right. A lot of our people, most of our people probably can't handle that kind of a level of business. But I'm not doing business with them people. They
and
can't.
These, when I was in this group, I say a lot of them had bachelor's and master's degrees. A couple owned their own businesses and were getting contracts from the government. It didn't matter. I mean, and then there were others who were single, weren't doing so well. But there was so much. It was just ridiculous. And this was years ago. So I'm not interested in being part of an organized black group like that ever again after that. And then the president of the club, who was the tax woman, she ran off with the money from Charles Schwab. She's dead now. She had a stroke. She was quite young when it happened. But there you go. So you pretty. So it sounds like you gave up. You gave up on doing the investment thing. What were you guys investing in? No, that's true.
What were you guys investing in?
Well, just like stocks, publicly traded stocks. Okay. So, but this is one thing Millie talks about is she said, what do black people really like to do? Pray when they're not really worried about paying their rent or their mortgage, and things are pretty okay for them. He said, what is it? He said, I really thought about it. What do they really like to do? and he said it's showing off to each other. And I thought, you know what? He's right. They like to show off. And showing off could be talking about how, your education, where you were allowed to get your degree from the people in power, showing off the knowledge they've allowed you to accumulate, showing off your possessions and your titles, and showing off by talking loud and kind of like being an energy vampire. And that's what you were describing. You should check that out. Look up energy vampires. They suck all of the air out of the room.
Miss Lady, well, sister, I'll tell you right now, this Fuller guy, I'm going to probably check him out, but I think he's missing a big part of this whole thing. He's missing conditioning. He's missing conditioning on that. Because here's the thing.
Oh, no, he understands exactly why. If you listen to him, you'll get a big...
So what's his solution then? What is his solution? Minimize conflict?
He's written a book called, and he's written a book called, he's an older man now. He's been...
is he a black man?
He's been doing this. Yes, he's very light-skinned, very light.
Is his wife white? I'm just wondering.
I don't know, but you have to check him out. He's very highly respected.
I bet he is.
Somebody. Do you know, have you heard of Dr. Frances Welsing?
Of course. Rest in peace. She's with the ancestors.
She actually is highly respectful of Neely Fuller and took a lot of her ideas actually from him, of her theory. Based on a lot of his, and basically, he said he was in the military in Japan years ago, I think during the Korean War or whatever, and he said he was pretty much alone, and he really wanted to solve the race problem, as they used to call it. So he had a lot of time to think, and he came up with this principle that white supremacy controls the world and all areas of people activity. And so no matter what activity, it could be art, it could be education, it could be politics, marriage, war, sex, religion, all of the areas, they are in control of that. So it's quite interesting, his philosophy and his perspective. And Dr. Welsing also, she cited him quite a bit. Now, I don't know if he was the first one to come up with that or not, but it's quite interesting. And some of them have been animated and cartoon-like, and it looks kind of like them. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the pull up on my phone. Yeah, I saw that.
Anyway, it's kind of sad that we've come to this. It would seem like as things overall get worse for black people, as the unemployment is high, the incarceration is high, you have a lot of marriages ending in divorce, fractured families.
That's
you
by
would
design,
think that people would get a clue. And say, we got to do something different to make, I've got to do something different for myself, my children, my grandchildren. I want to have something of value, but it's like so many cannot get past the emotion. It just can't. So to identify the ones who are like you, have like-minded thinking, and want to be progressive and positive and move forward and create a life of value for yourself and your family, that's the thing to do. And leave the others, I hate to say it, behind. Don't spend too much time. And I'm telling you, if I could go back, because I'm a mature woman, that's exactly what I would have done.
Yeah,
I wasted a lot of time.
Yeah,
and I was sabotaged quite a bit. There was a lot of jealousy, and understand it. Don't close your eyes to the jealousy and the saboteurs, because they are everywhere. Have you heard of Willie D's Coon song?
Yeah, I didn't watch it yet, but I heard of it. Yes, I did.
Okay, so
it's
in there he said if you are black and there are other black people that are hustling, trying to make it happen I'm paraphrasing, for the most part, and you sabotage them, you're a coon too. Not only that, you're a raccoon. So it's kind of like what's happened. So it's difficult for black people, I think, because of all these other factors where other people, at least they have their intact communities, culture, language, less divorce, that kind of thing. So it's easy. And I know of Asians that work together as families years ago, and they're all very wealthy.
Yeah, well, the thing is, listen, thanks for the call, sister. I appreciate you calling in. But, the thing is this. Listen, everybody's doing well because they're not being messed with like the black people are being messed with. You're looking at 3 generations of since the civil rights movement of black people being injected with cocaine, heroin into the black communities directly from the CIA, FBI. And so we're talking about jobs being actually being taken from us, jobs being people displacing us as we grew up in certain areas, we getting moved out. Gentrification is strong. There's a lot of reasons why black people do have the feelings they have. And I'm going to just tell you, sister, the reason why black people have this attitude, not all of us, but most of them you may see, and they have this attitude of me first or jealousy, envy, all that stuff, because black people have nowhere to go where they can have some kind of respect and love. Not even sometime in their own family. If you really understand that concept, you will understand that sometimes people sell their soul to get some of what the white folks have to offer. They think the white folks want them to do because they want to be accepted somewhere. That's why people are doing all the high-end jewelry. Look at me. People got the big rims on their cars. People, the gold teeth in their mouth. People running around here talking about, look at me. This person is not good as me. It's because the attention. Now, you got to dig deeper, though, than the surface area. The attention part of it, that's because we're getting disrespected on a daily basis. People are feeling so low in self-esteem through the white supremacist system that they're willing to go out here and act a damn fool to get some type of attention. And look at me, because the key underlying reason they do this, they want the love and the respect of somebody. Unfortunately, a lot of our children are going to the wrong sources for those things to happen. People may don't notice, but listen, in some of the rap world, the big record labels, there are good, conscious rappers out there will never see the light of day because these big labels are saying, no, we don't need that. We need to, no, nobody wants to hear that. Put out some more of this gangster stuff right here. Put this out right here. This is what sells. It's what they want to see. And they promote that. You think it's a coincidence that the rap lyrics, what they're talking about, F the police, talking about kill the police and do this and do that. There's no reason that they don't get investigated or get that album pulled off the shelf. But you can go out there and put another album out talking about kill your brother. That nigga ain't shit. Shoot him down. Kill him. Bitches this, hoes that. You put that out all day long. It's the same people running the industry that control what's put out. So when you got a young, impressionable young man or woman, they grow up in a world with that kind of stuff. Of course they're gonna fall in suit. It's a system in place for that. It's the reason why they go into the next level with that when they grow up. What we need to do to remove people from that scenario is this. We have to go in, recreate our community. And I'm in a process right now. We're talking to some friends and network with some people that I know and trust. We're looking at maybe buying some property somewhere, land and whatnot, and building our community on our own, putting people on there where we want to be put on it. Because to me, it's over with the community talking about take over community and do whatever. White folks ain't let you do all that in the area. They took over this area already. It's already done. Gentrification is strong. And the way to reverse that, you got to have money to reverse that. You got to have resources to reverse that. And the people out here, the black folks you're talking about in that situation, they ain't going to share their money on nothing that they don't see. They have short-sightedness, though. They suffer from what they call myopia, short-sightedness, okay? Because the real thing is this. I'm a visionary, sister. I'm a visionary, family. And I can see what's happening 10, 15, 20 years down the road. I don't need to spend my money and waste my time talking to foolish people. They want to be negative, they want to be negative. I'm looking for the young people who are still impressionable, who's those who still willing to learn some new information, something positive. I'm going to work with them. The older people who want to get down with us, I'm going to work with them. People my age want to get down with us and work with them. I'm not going to waste my time with people who want to be negative. Like I said, we did this. Not our first rodeo. We did a few town hall meetings. We did a few things that we know how things get down. And at this point, I'm looking to the next level. I'm not going to waste my time with negative people. And it may be, like you said 85% of people or 75, 8% of people is the black community is negative and they don't want to do nothing. That's true. I might halfway agree with you on that. I'm looking for the 15, 20%. That's what I'm looking for. Those who want to make something happen. And at this point, we don't have time to waste time with people who are foolish, who want to be negative, who want to just tear their life down. Because if I'm hanging on the edge of a ledge myself, I'm trying to pull myself up. The last thing I'm going to do is reach over to grab this negative fool over here, 200-some pounds, to try to grab him, and he's not sure if he wants to hang on or fall off anyway. I'm not going to do that. I'm looking for brothers and sisters who are trying to get up off the ledge. I'm going to spend my time with them. Because one of us make it to the top, we're going to tie a rope and get the rest of us who want to get out that ledge. So that's basically what I'm saying to you guys tonight. Making friends. I had a few great friends in my life. A few good friends in my life. A lot of associates. And generally those who are associates are also either they're undercover coons, they're undercover haters, undercover jealous people, undercover negative people. They're not really good friend quality to me anyway. My personality is such that I can weed out people just by dealing with them for a short time. I know who I want to be around, who I don't want to be around. And it's pretty obvious. So in this journey, family, if you don't know how to make good friends, yes, let's say the investment group, the sister was talking about earlier about the investment group that she was in, it didn't go so well. Okay, I get it. Who was in charge of the group? You say it was all black women doing their thing. Okay. Jealousy, envy. It's like the housewives of Atlanta. I can see how that happens. But the thing is, you have to start out small. Core things. And mixing town people can be jealous or whatever. But you know what? We can't repair everybody's problems overnight. That's why we have a focus group. Focus on this. Focus on this. This is the big result. Because the end result is this. Let's say me and my partners, we buy some land somewhere near fresh water. We own that land in a land trust. Okay? Just give you some ideas of what I'm looking at doing. We put who we want to put on that land with us. Cut off an acre for that family, acre for that family, acre for this family, community property, park for the kids, whatever. But when you come on this land, it's all controlled by us, those who are there. We put who we want to put on there with us. And I'm going to tell you right now, my neighbor, Mr. Johnson or Sister Johnson, whatever, I may not agree on their lifestyle to some degree. I may not agree what they believe in, whatever it might be. At the end of the day, I'm going to know this person is a person. We got one common goal, to have a place for our children to grow up in safety, in harmony, and we have to be core belief on a few good things about how to maintain an economical base for our family and our future generations. Now, we might disagree on religion. We might disagree on, how y'all living in your house. We might disagree on whatever the relationship might be. But if we can basically come together on an economical base and security base and having fruit and vegetables for our people in our community to live on, to sustain ourselves on, when you go out of the gate to go into town or go anywhere else you want to go, you do whatever you want to do. But when you come home, you want a safety net for your children, your family. You want to know you're in a safe environment. You want to know that people around you that you know, like, and trust. And you want to know that your children have somewhere inside that they can grow up and be taught their own history, be taught their own education structure to fight the white supremacy world outside of this area. And that's the best we can do at this point in time until we decide maybe to take our stuff up, invest, and put our money into Africa, maybe move there one day. I don't know. The point I'm making is this. You cannot control this white supremacy system. But what you can do is remove yourself from being out in the middle of all the crime and drama. And you cannot do that if you don't have no buying power. You can't do that if you don't have no land. You see, in order, people don't understand this, and maybe it's Mr. Filler guy, maybe he gets it, maybe he don't, I don't know. But the thing is this. I grew up in a very toxic society. I grew up in dysfunctional society. I grew up learning the dysfunctional parts of people and piecing myself back together over 15, 20 years. And here's my conclusion and what I know. I don't have to listen to anybody outside of this about what they know how to do with the black people and the black problem. What I know is this: if you're not a strong-minded person, dysfunction will break you. For example, I always tell my sisters this. Listen, I actually wrote a document on how to pre-qualify your man. Here's what I know. Fact. God created man and woman. Man was supposed to be head of the house. I'm supposed to be supportive of that arrangement. And if you, a good, strong sister, good, positive, loving sister, if you mix yourself with a dysfunctional man, he will destroy you. I don't care how strong you think you are. The makeup of man and woman is different. Why do I say this? I say it because it goes back to what I've been saying. When you build a community, with no strong men in the community, that community will never flourish. Because now if we was all mixed with just black men and all women, that might work. But what we're doing is this community, this country is all mixed with men and women of other different race, creed, religion, whatever. So if you have a strong black women base in the community, there's no male presence really there, period. Could be an investment group, could be whatever you want to call it. Those children out of that union will grow up without a father figure, not knowing how to be a man. They'll grow up not knowing how to lead. And on top of all of this, sisters cannot protect entire communities. Can't be done. White men don't fear black women. They look to control black women. They look to sustain them in what they give us in its welfare systems and what they give us in fact that, listen, your black man can't get a job. Come over here, cross over the green grass, we take care of you. This system is built to make our sisters believe they don't need us. It's also built to make black men figure this is the way to be a man. Have a lot of kids, don't take care of them, run the streets, live a fast life, whatnot. So if you can't understand that part of dysfunctional relationship, as we go forward in relationships, people try to lead over men, it ain't gonna never work out. And in this situation with friendship, we talk about tonight, 3 classes of friendship. If you don't know how to be a good friend, a great friend, you only be left with associates in your circle. So I'm gonna open the line for somebody else to talk. 8518. We have about 7 minutes. Let me go to the top. 8518. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Calling from California.
Hey, Queen. This is one of my great friends right here. Just talking about earlier. Go ahead, Queen. What you want to say?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. First, I just want to thank you once again for this wonderful forum that you're providing for black people, conscious black people, and those who aren't conscious. Maybe they'll listen to you and realize that they've been missing a lot of education and truth. And I thank you for always giving that and sharing that with us, with your audience, with your true friends, with acquaintances. Thank you for always being you, Wolf. I appreciate that. I've been listening, as I do quite often. Sometimes I don't get in. I don't press that one quick enough when I do come. And thank you for the archives, because we could always go back and take in and learn from previous shows. So tonight's show, very, very powerful, moving, interesting, and I wanted to thank Miss Lady. She came on and said some things that really touched my spirit, especially about women and women having envy and jealousies and things of that nature. And I'm hoping I could speak to the women that are listening, who I refer to as queens. And a true queen will show herself. And it is sad that so many women have forgotten their place, their role in the home with the children and with her king, first of all, where it starts, head of household. And I encourage women to take a look at a person, a woman, that they see that they're dissing and talking about and being rude and negative, and try to see themselves, young woman or older woman. And it's really sad that the respect for mature women. I call mature adults seasoned adults because they've been here longer. Wisdom doesn't always come to necessarily the older women. Sometimes it's a lot of wisdom with the younger women as well. But they're looking at us, and they're looking at us more mature women as being sort of a guide. And if we're dissing them, we're disrespecting ourselves. And if young people don't have a role model because that's all they see, they're on TV, watching TV, seeing women call each other out of their names, the B word, and all these other foul, derogatory names. And what's happening is white America is tickled because they love seeing black women disrespect each other. It's a game to them. They love exploiting us instead of recognizing the queens we are. And we're women. We're the earth. That's how we bear children, through our womb. And we wouldn't have that opportunity if it wasn't for our men, our males, our mates, our kings. So we as women, the nurturers, the queens, need to hold it down with one another, need to stop disrespecting one another, need to be there supportive and be a friend. Sometimes all these women need is someone to say, hey, sister, I see you may not be having a great day. Can we talk? Can we chat? Sometimes women don't have another woman to talk to because she doesn't have a role model at home. So I just wanted to thank Miss Lady for touching on that, and you offered a solution to separate ourselves with individuals who are being totally rude and disrespectful, and sometimes you have to do that. I love what Mike said. Give yourself permission to walk away. Thank you, King Mike. I'm sorry I missed him this visit from Brazil, but thank you for pointing that out again, that we have to do that. But in the meantime, I just wish that whatever's going on with ourselves as women, that we would not interject that on other young ladies. Offer them opportunity, lend a hand. Sometimes that's all they need to see themselves, because they don't know that disrespecting each other is not cool because it's happening at home, seeing it on TV, and I know that's another topic. The televised vision, that's a whole other topic. But I really want to say that, and I thank God for you and all my true friends and all of us allowing each other to grow. But we are definitely on one accord. We are definitely wanting to have this communal type of living and providing attorneys, doctors, stores, food, everything for ourselves. And I do believe that that is the only way for Black people in America, and those out of America are already doing that. They have land, farmland. They're making sure sisters, brothers, aunts, cousins, those who are willing, come together, put monies together, buy land, and help each other have homes and things of that nature, all needs. So I love that idea. Yeah, I love it. Thank you.
All right, my queen. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. And also, before I go, you guys want to donate to the show? I want to give a shout out to CJ. He donated $300 to the Bay Area Black community effort. I appreciate that. Anybody else want to give a donation, $5, $10, whatever you want to give, you can go to www.bayareablack.org. There's a donate button on the front page. Donate to the show and follow us on Twitter at Bay Area Black. Follow us on Facebook, the Bay Area Black Community, and also on YouTube, Bay Area Black Channel. Some good videos I'm putting up. We'll be putting up Dr. Umar soon. I got through editing that and making sure that's right. And, just keep up with us because we're making some progress. We're looking for the right people. Negative people, stay out. So thank everybody for tonight's call. Love you guys. I'll see you guys next Monday, 8 p.m. Until then, have a good night.